Hello, good morning. Welcome to another Sunday, Self-Love Sunday. And thank you so much for your suggestion about topics. I'm definitely getting into all of the suggestions in the next Sundays. But today I have chosen judgment versus discernment when making decisions. So I think this is a really good topic, especially because in the last weeks I've been learning that myself. I am in the process of reinventing my branding. I'm in the process of questioning ways of doing things online, and in general, how I do what I do in the world. And it's very easy to fall into judgment and to, put my finger right there and like right here like this and point fingers and say, oh, that's wrong, and they do it that way and that's not good. And for me to say that's not necessary, it doesn't matter what the world is doing, what do I want to do, which is discernment. That's the discernment of my heart. So right out the bat, I wanted to tell you that I've been learning this. So it's pretty close to my heart right now, this topic. So thank you so much. I think it was Michelle who in this group, and someone else said that you like that message too. So thank you so much for this suggestion. Also, I just did it in Spanish and they suggested that too a couple of times. So this is a good topic for all of us. So I'd like to say hello to whoever is online. So let me say, hi Diana, hi Aminga. I was just yesterday with you and it was so good to see you. Kelty, hi Kelty. I met your friend this week. I can't remember her name, but she said, I'm friends with Kelty. And I gave her a big hug. She was so sweet. She came to all the classes and she did great. So thank you so much, Kelty, for sending your friends right here. So who else is online? If you're online, please say hello. I love to say hello to you. So today we're going to talk about this. But before we talk about this, I would love for us to Deb. Yeah, Deb. Awesome. Yeah, she's here. Before we begin, let's get into our beingness. So today I'm bringing you a breathing technique I learned from Reverend Michael in his meditation course, and I thought it was really good. It really centers me before teaching, and it really centers me into my beingness. So I'm going to give you the first part of the breathing right now, just to get into our bodies, and then at the end of the session today, we're going to add another part to it. And so you can also use this technique to use your discernment with making decisions. All right, so let's see. Huli, so good to have you here. So good to have you here. Okay, so the way that we're going to breathe today, it's in 8 times. So you're going to inhale in 8 times. We're going to hold the breath for 4 times, and then we're going to exhale in 8 times, and then we're going to hold in 4 times. Okay, so inhale in 4. Inhale in 8, hold in 4, exhale in 8, hold in 4. Okay, so we're going to do it together. And I want you to close your eyes, put your palms facing upwards in a position of receiving. So as you let go of all your breath, we're going to begin. So I want you to inhale in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let go the last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a normal deep breath in. Let go. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Let go with Beautiful. Now keep your eyes closed, inhaling and exhaling. As we welcome this session, as we welcome this day, as we welcome the wisdom of the living spirit of this universe, we know we're being guided. We know that we are being heard. And we know that everything that we need is right here, right now, in this eternal now. That all of the wisdom, all of our discernment exists right here, right now, in the center of our hearts. We don't have to look so far away. We don't have to look outside. We just have to look within. So we become grateful, so grateful to know that all we need is right here, right now, that all of our needs are met, that all of our prayers have been answered. That it's our only task to become quiet and still. That's it. To be willing, to be humble, to let go of our arrogance, to let go of our cleverness. And welcome curiosity, welcome wonderment, bewilderment. We're going to take the last 3 deep breaths of love and gratitude. Inhale. Let go. Inhale. Let go. Inhale. And let go. Beautiful. Very slowly and very gracefully, we open our eyes, we come back to the room, and we get ready. We get ready to be right here, right now, and listen. Listen. So, if you get online, please say your name, type it in the comments so that I can say hi to you. So, today we're going to talk about judgment versus discernment, especially when making decisions, when making tough decisions. When we're making decisions, and especially if this decision is triggering worry, is triggering the feeling of not enoughness, lack, scarcity, any fear that may be triggering this decision, it's very easy to go to judgment. It's very easy to go to the back of our minds in a matter of microseconds, review what is the information that we have here in our subconscious mind, and make decisions from there. A lot of the information we have in our subconscious mind may be good, but a lot of the information that we have as human beings in our subconscious mind is very limiting. Very limiting, and it comes from very old paradigms. As you know, we're living a new era right now. I think, we remember when in 2012 people were talking about the end of the world or something's going to happen. I believe what happened is that we enter a new era, and it's been rapidly taking momentum. The more the same way that technology is going fast, is the same way I believe that our souls are wanting to evolve. Mother Earth is becoming more conscious of itself, so we are all ascending pretty quickly. Now, there are people in the world that are refusing to wake up, and they're numbing themselves even more. They're fighting, they're struggling. And I don't know if you've noticed in your life that when you decide to go for your mind, for your logic, for your fears, the pain is more acute, it's more uncomfortable. It really quickly turns into depression. It turns into darkness. And I've seen it in the last couple of weeks with myself and with people that have come to my sessions, to my classes, where they say, Paola, I can't handle this anymore. Something's got to give. Something's got to change. It's 11:11 here in Costa Rica. Let's take a deep breath. Let go. When 11:11 comes through my consciousness. So something's got to change. And so I've felt and I've heard, and I'm living through these times where everything is changing. So when judgment comes to our lives, you can feel it. You can feel it very intensely. And so today I want to bring a new paradigm, a new awareness of this quality that I like to call discernment. And what is discernment and what is judgment? So let's start with judgment first. Judgment is a mental quality. I would say it comes from logic. And I just want to say something. Everything that I say here, I would love for you to use your discernment and see if it resonates for you. So take everything with a grain of salt. But this is my understanding, my own experience with discernment and judgment. So judgment is a very mental quality. It comes from logic. And why do we need judgment? Why human beings use judgment? Because if thousands of years ago our ancestors didn't know how to discern between a poisonous plant and a healthy plant to eat, we probably wouldn't be here. That judgment that says right and wrong, poisonous, healthy, darkness, light, yes, no, good and bad, that judgment is very, very needed for our survival. Okay? So judgment is something in our brain that says if I judge, if I know what's right and what's wrong, I will diminish or decrease cognitive dissonance. And what is cognitive dissonance? Uncertainty. When your brain and my brain is in a space of uncertainty, of not knowing, it freaks out. Because at a very primal level, it means that I may die. I might die. And so I need to make sure that I know. That is why we judge people. That is why we use religions to know what's right and what's wrong. That's why we are very radical in many of the ways that we have. And that radicalism and that judgment and that separation, again, it was very needed in times before this. Now, as you know, we don't live in those times anymore. And you don't have to go hunt for your food. You just go to a supermarket and there you have it, all the food. Or you go to a restaurant and you just order food. Now, I'm talking about your reality, my reality. I know there's still some cultures, some countries where they still go through famine and they still go through pretty hostile environments. But since you're having this, technology to watch Facebook and to live in a country with freedom, I am talking to you for us in this moment in our existence. So judgment, it was very needed. And if your life is threatened by someone who's going to kill you, you do need to run away. You do need your survival instincts. So as long as we're alive, we'll have judgment. We will have judgment. We will have expectations. Now, that's not to say that we can educate our minds, that we can make this mind a little bit more elegant, a little bit more of the servant of your beautiful discernment. We can do that. And then when judgment, when expectations come to the surface, we have the dominion over our minds to say, no. I am the boss. You're not the boss. I thank you for wanting you to protect my existence. I thank you. Thank you so much. I love you. But I know better. I know how to use my discernment. Now, I know some people may say, Paola, but I am so quick to judge. Well, you and I have been so quick to judge because we've been rehearsing that behavior for the last 30, 40, 50 years. Now, creating a more elegant mind, it takes a little bit. It doesn't have to take 30 more years to do that, but it needs practice, consistency, and repetition. But let's go back to concepts. Judgment is very black and white. When I know what's right, then I can decrease the potential of getting harmed or die. Okay, so judgment. Let's not judge our judgment because it's a very human thing. That's another thing we do, and I don't know if you've ever done this, but I've done it. I'm judging myself because I'm judging, and then I'm judging because I'm judging, and then it's a cycle. It's ridiculous. So let's try not to judge our judgment. We have judgment because we're humans. But now, as we are evolving, as we're expanding, we're bringing new knowledge, new paradigms, wisdom, and that's the wisdom of discernment. Discernment is a quality of the soul. Discernment is a quality that is, for me, could be a synonymous of intuition. Logic, mind, judgment. Heart, intuition, discernment. I'll put them in the same category. Discernment is more inclusive. Discernment doesn't say right or wrong. It says, okay, I have these options. I'm going to go within. I'm not going to go outside. I'm not going to ask all my friends. I'm not going to go see if people are going to approve me or not. I'm just going to go inside and just look into my soul and ask my soul in this period of my life, in this moment, in this season of my life, what is of my highest good? What is of my highest good? It's not that because this is going to be wrong and this is going to be right. What is of my highest good in this particular moment of my existence? That doesn't mean that I'm not going to go back there. It could be. You know, something that I love to say is that I reserve the right to change my mind because I'm an ever-evolving being. And so for you in this moment, what is of your highest good? What is the route that is going to take you to the next level of your own evolution? That is discernment. That's the path of your heart, and it needs a lot of courage. Another thing about discernment, about making decisions with that, and I've done another video about this, which is, it talks about the difference between ego and your intuition. And ego is very quick and loud to speak. When you're in fear, when you're in your ego and you're in that protected personality, you'll hear a lot of thoughts. It insists you should say that and you should do that and you shouldn't. It's all about manipulation, controlling. It feels busy and it feels anxious. When you're listening to your discernment, to your own intuition, it might not be comfortable, but it's a quiet voice. It's an elegant voice. It's a voice that it's okay with you not choosing it. That's how elegant our spirit is. It says something and then it waits. Your ego is like, no, I gotta say, I gotta do it, I gotta convince, I got to defend myself, I gotta fight. They are saying, she said, I said, then he replied back, and it's all of this defense mechanisms come. You start drinking, you start smoking, you start gossiping, you start getting very involved with drama. You start, being hours and hours on Facebook. We start numbing. That's when judgment is very, present in your life. Discernment, it's more quiet. It's that part of you that says, there's no judgment, I've been loving this job for the last 15 years. It's a great job. I don't need to find anybody to blame or shame to quit this job. It doesn't have to be anybody's fault. I just know that the season is over. And I'm ready to take this route. Now, one more time, judgment, very black and white. Discernment, I'm going to look in between. The shades of gray that are in between black and white. Judgment, very radical. Discernment, a lot more flexible. Are you guys with me? I hope you're still with me. Take a deep breath in. Let go. If there's any questions that are arising, please type them in the comments because it makes this conversation a lot more fun. If you guys are resonating, please type in the comments a little heart or thumbs up so that I know that you're here with me. Let's see. And if you just got online, please say hi. Just say hi. Okay. If there's any questions, please put them in the comments. Now, another way to see if you are using your discernment, another way to see if you're using your judgment, is that whatever decision you are making is going to feel contracted in your body. So when you feel that you're making a decision and you feel the expansion of your body, that's when you are following your heart. That's when you're feeling your discernment. When you feel the contraction in your body, it's probably because you're following your judgment. Another way to know that is your judgment and you're using for this decision making is that you will see that it matches your story. If there's a lot of blaming and there's a lot of shaming, there's a lot of, pointing fingers. If it matches the story of your life, it probably is because this judgment is present in your decision making. Sometimes the English and the Spanish videos that I make are a little bit different because I know most of the people that are going to be watching this video have come to Rhythmia. Not everyone. Rhythmia is just a beautiful retreat center in Costa Rica. Check it out if you don't know what it is. And right here we do plant medicine. And with plant medicine, a lot will come to the surface. A lot of information, a lot of imagery, a lot. Some things are comfortable, some things are horrific. And the plant takes you into a journey for you to see what's in your subconscious mind. And something I have seen here at Rhythmia is that people will come out with ideas. I've done it, and I've come out with ideas, with premonitions, with intuitive knowings. And many times, when you're quiet about it and you feel you're like, okay, I'm hearing this, I'm seeing this. But many times people don't have the discernment to see if it's something that it matches your story. That's what you saw it. That's why it came to you. That's what's in your subconscious mind. Or this is something divinely guided by your spirit. So another way to know, am I using my discernment or am I using my judgment, is if what you're deciding, what you're knowing, matches your story. So when we're using our intuition, we're following our hearts, many times you're going to get ideas you've never thought about. Many times you're going to be feeling that is weird, that you're thinking that. Oh my God, really? I'm thinking that? That's never been me before. When it's new, when it feels like it's very outside of what you know, it's usually because it's your discernment. But sometimes some people come to me and they say, well, Mother Ayahuasca told me that I need to go back to my ex. Before taking the medicine, did you want to go back to your ex, even though you know it's not the right thing to do? So you got to use your discernment. Is that following your story, your ego story, or is that following your heart? I hope this is making sense. Maria Julia puts a little heart. Kelty puts a little heart. I still don't see questions. It's interesting. Sometimes I wonder, how come questions don't come? Am I being so clear? That's cool. It could be a great thing, or it could be that I don't invite for questions enough. So I'll have to ask my discernment what that is. Sometimes in class, I'm like, does anybody have a question? And nobody has a question. So I'm always in wondering, how come? So judgment versus discernment when making decisions. Now, when we're making a difficult decision, it's more likely that you're triggered because it's difficult. You judge it as difficult. I know, and I started this conversation saying that at the beginning, it's been like 2 weeks where I've been feeling a little bit stuck with my branding, with how I want to go about things with Paola Castro, coaching. I don't even know if I want to use the word coaching anymore. And I've gone through periods in the last couple of weeks where I feel my judgment. I've had judgment against social media. I have a judgment against, some people that are selling all of these things online. And I can feel it. My voice is just very, very loud. And it drives me crazy. And what I've had to do is that I've had to sit down with myself for the last 2 weeks. My meditation has increased to a full hour of just sitting with myself, allowing the dirt to come to the surface, all the judgment to come to the surface. And about minute 40, minute 45, I can feel that I can hear silence. I can hear the wisdom of my heart, because the first minutes is just like, I'm driving myself crazy. And if you're having to make a decision or make a choice and it feels like that, I'm going to invite you to sit still for as long as you can. I would say an hour minimum. Because many times we say, I'm using my discernment, but you still hear all those thoughts in your mind. In order to get to discernment, we must be quiet. And now, it is, I don't know if I can tell you that I go minutes without thinking. I may have microseconds when the thoughts disappear. Is that the gap between the thoughts? It's not that my mind stops thinking when I'm meditating. It's that the gap between the thoughts is a little bigger. It's a little, and bigger, maybe a second or two or three. Depends on the day. But even though my mind is still thinking, I can feel that I have reached dominion over it. The brain waves are not so much like a roller coaster, they're more even. I'm still thinking, I still have that silly thought, like, oh my God, Paula, I love you, that silly thought. But even though I'm thinking, I feel the calmness of my brain activity. And then I can feel my heart thinking a little more. Or not thinking a little more, speaking a little louder. And with that elegant voice saying, Paula, here's the way. For example, with my situation, I decided to erase social media from my phone. And it's been an amazing week not having social media on my phone. I had to really ask myself, am I doing this out of judgment? Or am I doing this out of discernment? So I'm still on social media. I'm still doing this Sundays, and I love to do them. I'm still reviewing the messages once a day on my computer. But my discernment say, you know what, in this season of your life, wanting what you want to do, Paola, it's time not to have social media on your phone. Because there has been times where I just take on my phone, and without having to look at anything, I'm just looking at my phone. And so I'm distracted. And I don't want to be distracted in this moment in my life. I want to be listening. Now, I'm saying this not to say you should do the same. Don't do the same if that's not for you. There's nothing wrong in having social media on your phone. It's very convenient for many things. And it's not to say that I'm not going to bring it back at some point. There's no judgment, but there's discernment. I know that from this moment in my life, for what I want to create, my voice, my silent voice, the voice of my spirit has said, I need you to be more in silent than you are in distraction, than you are out there in the world. This is my season. This is how my season is looking like. But to get to that conclusion, I had to sit so many days and feel stuck, that stuckness of like, oh, my brain wants to tell me right away. I'm a person of action. I like to take action right away. In fact, I want to take action yesterday. Today is too late. But my discernment has said, Paola, yes, we love being that way, but it's time to be patient. It's time to take no action. That's my growing edge. No action right now. No radical action. Now, you might be someone that being sitting on the verge of taking action and just saying, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. Maybe your growing edge, as you sit down in stillness and you listen to your inner voice, maybe your growing edge is to take action. Is to make the decision now. It's different for everyone. Judgment tends to have a formula for everyone. Discernment knows that you're a unique expression of the universe. And what's good for you might not be good for me. What's good for them might not be good for the other group. It's different for everyone. That's why now spirituality is more popular than religion. Now you can be religious and spiritual at the same time. I believe that's possible. But religion has been so filled with judgment, with dogma, with it's this way, it's got to be that way for the rest of your life. Now in this new era, we're understanding that we can take from different dogmas, different beliefs, and create our own. Because we're all so unique. We're all in so many different moments of our different times of our own evolution, of our own experience, that having a formula for everyone, it just sounds crazy to me. Now, for me, for example, when I go into social media, I look at what everyone is doing. And I could be like, well, if that works for them, then it should work for me too. But I can hear my heart saying, no, Paola, it's so different for you. I still don't know how it is. I'm listening. I'll let you guys know when I get the answer. So another thing about using your discernment to make decisions is that sometimes you have to be patient. You got to use your patience to know that you'll know when you know. Now, if you've been sitting waiting for too long and you know in your discernment that it's time to make a decision, then it's time to make a decision. Now, another component of this call is that sometimes you think that by following your heart, by following the path of your discernment, things are going to turn into rainbows and butterflies and unicorns. And in time it does. Every time I've made a decision with my heart, even though at first it's very, very rocky, in hindsight, and you probably will agree with me, you say, oh my God, I'm so grateful I made that decision. I'm so grateful. But many times you make a decision and it will feel like, oh dear Lord, did I make this decision well? And your mind is going to start feeling triggered. The path of your heart doesn't mean it's going to be easy. In fact, sometimes the path of making your decision with your logic and your judgment feels a lot more comfortable, more in the comfort zone. I hope you're following me so far. I hope I'm not sounding like I'm contradicting myself, because there's a fine line between discernment and judgment, between logic and intuition. At first, it's very fine. That's why it's very important to be in tune with yourself. Sometimes when we're making our decision with our judgment, it matches our story and it feels easier. It feels like we're not going to piss so many people, so I'm just going to do it. Right here is the lowest risk I can take. And sometimes that's what our ego wants. Let me just navigate this life until the moment I transition back to eternity, until the moment I die with the lowest possible risk, because I'm so afraid of life. Sometimes your discernment says, oh, you got to leap. You got to leap. And this is going to be a little bit scary for the ego, for the mind, but it's time. It's time to leap. It's time to go against the good judgment of others. And you'll know that. You'll know that with your heart. Let's take a deep breath in. Let go. Clem said, listening and learning, no questions. Thank you, Clem, for being here. Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Sometimes it's hard to deal with people who judge a lot and may do my work, but it's still frustrating. Okay, so let me tell you something, Juli, about people that judge a lot. First of all, as you know, they might be your teachers. And second of all, are you judging them because they judge? That's what could be frustrating for you. I think I've already told in another group, in another call, this thing that happened to me. I remember coming to work one day. I was feeling good. And I got into the office. And I sat down and I was sharing something with the group of people that were in the office. And then there was this other person. And this person was in a very negative state. This person, everything the group would say, this person would say the opposite and bring a lot of judgment. In that moment, when I first heard the first comment, I was like, oh my God, come on. Come on. Come with the group. We're feeling happy. Why you gotta be so negative? That was my first thought. The second comment this person did, I was like, oh my God, this person is not having a good time today. I wonder what this person is not having a good time. It seems like this person is, so this is me in my own head. It seems like this person is always so negative. And then I just continued talking with my friends, and then this person continued having the bad comments. And I was like, I wonder why all this personal work that this person has done in their life hasn't worked. And so my ego started judging her. It was a girl. And so by the time I left that office, I came in with all this light, all this enthusiasm. 20, 30 minutes later, I felt like I had to run out of that office. I got in my car and I was like, oh my God, I need a nap. And then I went home and I think I took a nap and then I meditated. And my discernment said, Paola, you know what made you so tired? It wasn't her. She was just having a bad time and you had no compassion for that. It was you judging her. You did not stop judging her negativity. And that was such a big lesson that day. There was no compassion whatsoever from my friend. It was only judgment. I was judging her, and it just depleted my energy. So Juli, I would say to you, are you judging them for being so judgmental? That's just the first step. Now, another question is, do you have to be in their presence? Can you create some boundaries? Do you have to be? Now, many times is yes, this is my coworker, this is my husband, this is my, I don't know, my sister. I'm not gonna take them out of my life or, kick them out of my life. What do I do, Paola? So I would say be in the space of love and compassion. Protect yourself with love and light. This is energetic boundaries. When you are in the presence of them, start thinking all the great things that they are, and breathe through your heart. Exhale love out your hands, and protect yourself with love. So first question is, are you judging them? Second question is, do you have to be in their presence? Sometimes I have decided to not really call that person or hang out with that person because it's not necessary. I know I'm going to go into judgment and it's not fair for them for judging them. So, and I don't have to be friends with that person, so I decide not to. And if this is someone you dearly love, then love them. Be compassionate with them. Protect yourself with a light around you. And when they're speaking, think about all the ways that they're beautiful as a way of protecting them from their own. I talked about this in the call about boundaries, healthy boundaries. But I hope that answers your comment. And it wasn't a question, but a comment. She says, yes, even though I know it's still too much sometimes. Okay. So if it's too much and you have to be in the presence of this person, I encourage you to meditate, to get in a space of love and compassion, and bring that to the situation. Bring that to them. Many times too, Juli, and because I know your beautiful self, you have a beautiful heart. You are so open, and you are a helper. You are a giver. You are a healer. And if we go in the presence of this person wanting to rescue them from their own negativity, if you want to rescue them, if you want to, I just wish this person wasn't this way, I'm going to try to help them. You know, those people when you try to help them, that they just come back with more negativity. I encourage you, Juli, I don't know if this is the situation, but sometimes this happens to me that I really want to help them. I really want to heal them. Quit to that idea. Let them row their own boat. Let them be negative. Let them be in their own moment of their own journey, their own evolution. Some people are in certain moments of their life, and that's okay. It's okay for them to be negative. It's okay. You don't have to save them. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to change them. But we have to quit to that savior, that super Wonder Woman that lives within us, that wants to save everyone. So that's another aspect of it. I hope Hope this gives you more clarity. Gokhan, so good to see you here. Okay, so Maria Julia is resonating. Sorry, I was in church. Nicole. Hi, Nicole. So good. Well, Nicole, you can always watch it later. So far we've talked about the concept of what is judgment, what is discernment, how can we listen to our discernment. It doesn't come into a busy mind. How discernment looks at some points, it might look like you have to be quiet and you have to be still and wait. That's what your discernment says, until you know. Or sometimes discernment says it's time to make the decision. That's your growing edge. You've been waiting for too long. It's time. Another thing I want to say about your mind, and this I took from Kyle Cease, which is a teacher that I admire a lot. Kyle Cease said, your mind is always going to be judging. When it comes to a decision, your mind is always going to be judging what you're going to lose instead of what you're going to gain. I'm going to say it one more time. Your mind will be judging what you're going to lose instead of what you're going to gain. So be aware that when you're about to make a decision, if all the things you can think is what you're going to be losing, that's probably your logical mind trying to protect you. That's probably you using your judgment. Ask a different question. What am I going to gain? And see how it feels in your body. If what it feels in your body like it's expansive when you think about it, oh, my freedom, oh, discernment, wisdom, all of those things, you can feel it in your body, it expands you. Listen to that. And if you feel like, oh my God, what I'm going to lose and what I'm going to gain and still feels contracted, then is a no. Then you don't have to go that way. So all of these little aspects I'm bringing into your awareness. I've been using them in my own practice, and it really, really works. Your discernment has a beautiful, elegant voice. Soft, quiet, flexible. Your judgment has a lot of what others think about me. It's rough, it's raw, it insists, it makes you not sleep at night, it makes you anxious. It gives you all of, I laugh because I've had some sleepless night in the last couple of weeks where my mind is like blah, 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 blah. It's like a parrot, it's like it's interesting. I just keep saying, mine, I love you, all the survival you're doing for me, I love you so much. I've learned not to judge it. Again, don't judge your judgment, because that's still judgment and it's a little silly. So at the beginning of this call, I talked about a meditation that I learned, and we did it. And now if you just connected, it's okay. I'm going to explain it one more time. We're going to add a step. And I encourage you to do this when you're sitting down in your meditation, when you want to use your judgment for your discernment for making decisions. This is a beautiful meditation that uses an affirmation. And the affirmation, you can shift it for whatever works for you. Today I'm going to use the affirmation, I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. If at first it feels like you're lying to yourself, like it doesn't feel real or authentic, it's okay. Your mind doesn't have to be on board. You're just going to say it willingly, okay? So the meditation goes this way, or the breathing technique. It's a breathing technique that will prepare you to meditation. What this does, it also calms the brain waves of your mind, calms the thinking. It's not that you're going to stop thinking, it's that you're just going to feel a little bit more quiet, a little bit softer in your mind. So the way that we do it is the following. We're going to eat and we're going to breathe. I must be hungry. We're going to breathe in 8 counts. You're going to inhale 8 counts. Then you're going to hold the breath for 4. And then you're going to exhale in 8. And you're going to hold in 4. Now, if 8 is a lot, you can do it in 6. I'm going to be guiding in the form of 8. A good way to be able to hold or be inhaling for 8 counts is that before you inhale, you let go of all the air in your body until you're empty, and then you can breathe in 8 counts. So this is what we're going to be doing. You inhale, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 8. You're going to hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You hold 1, 2, 3, 4. You exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You hold 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you got the idea. Okay, so instead of counting, what we're going to do is we're going to say in our own minds, I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. And we're going to do it 10 times. Okay, so one time it's going up, hold it, down, hold it. That's one time. Okay, so I'm going to be guiding you. Close your eyes. Inhale to get ready. Exhale all of the air. Inhale. Exhale. So we're going to do it right now. Inhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Exhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Inhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Exhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Inhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Exhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Inhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Exhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Inhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Exhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Inhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Exhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Inhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Exhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Inhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Exhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Inhale, last two. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Exhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Inhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Exhale. I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Hold. I am divine wisdom. Now let go of the breath. Inhale, norm. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And in this knowing that we are divine wisdom, here, right here in that space is where we make decisions. It's where we choose for our highest good, for our highest well-being. We choose the next step for the next level of our own evolution. You keep breathing in and out. We simply give thanks. We give thanks to life. We give thanks to wisdom for being so present in this moment, for being so present in this journey of being a human being, of being a spiritual being, having a human experience. Thank you. We say thank you. Thank you, life. Thank you. Thank you, technology. Thank you, wisdom. Thank you. This moment in time, we get so lucky. We are so lucky that we get to evolve, that we get to expand our ways. We're so blessed to be living in this time and space. In this moment where the world is waking up to the truth of who we are. We are love, we are wisdom. All of the answers are not outside of ourselves, they are inside. We're going to take the last 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Let go. Inhale. Let go. Inhale. And surrender. Let go. Very slowly and very gracefully, we open our eyes, come back to the room. And I say thank you everyone for being here. Thank you. I don't see any questions, I don't see any more comments, but I am so grateful for you. If you have any comments, any questions after this call, please put them in the comments below. Have a wonderful Sunday. Have a wonderful rest of the week or a new week. I love you, and I'll see you next Sunday again. Next Sunday is Eastern Sunday. I hope you can get online. I love you. Goodbye.